Alright, Bird Box. I like this movie. Starts out with a guy talking over a view of a nice river, alright? And then we're introduced to Sandra Bullock, who is playing Mallory, and a boy and a girl. And I'm not kidding, these are their names. I'm not too lazy to remember their names. This is what they're called. And Mallory's telling them that they're going on a journey that's gonna be fucking dangerous, and never to take the blindfolds off. Warns them and shit, and then she takes the birds that she got. She got 3 birds. She shoves them in a box, hence the name Bird Box. Okay, cut back to a few years prior to that, and Mallory is preggo. Okay, she's pregnant. And her sister comes by, and her sister breeds horses, and they talk about some horse jargon and the fact that she's pregnant. And apparently Mallory is, I can't say her fucking name, I'm just gonna call her Sandra Bullock, please, thank you. Apparently Sandra Bullock is a hard ass bitch, and she like sort of half emo type shit, you know, and she hates life, hates people, and she not depressed, but she's like gloomy as tits. And her sister's serious as fuck. So her sister comes by and she's complaining about how the store is packed and the shit that's happening in the news of some weird happenings or whatever the fuck, okay? And apparently this shit that's happening is in Romania. Then they go to the hospital to check on the baby, okay? And Sandra Bullock is like, nah, fuck that baby, I don't like this stupid baby or some shit. The doctor's like, yo, like it or not, you're gonna have a baby, okay? If you don't want the baby, and lots of other people who can't have babies who will like your baby, okay? I bet you. After that, we find Sandra Bullock puking in the fucking bathroom. Her sister asks if she's fine, and she's like, yep, I'm fine. Go away from me in the car. So she gets out the bathroom, walks by, and there's this lady smashing her head against the fucking glass trying to kill herself. She gets in the car and everything starts going apeshit, okay? That thing that was in Russia apparently, so things not Romanian, it's Russian, I don't fucking know. So now the monster looks like this, is in the United States now. And it's fucking shit up when everybody's trying to kill themselves. So they're driving along, trying to get home. Her sister sees a thing, okay, and her eyes turn like into some weird shit. You know how like when you were a kid and they're trying to make cool art shit on your clothes, and then you like do with some pins and then put it in some fucking water and then pull it out and make some like cool circular design. Yeah, her eyes turn like that way. After her eyes turn insane, she tries to kill herself while driving into oncoming traffic, and Sandra's like, nah, what the fuck you doing? Don't kill us, I'm pregnant. Stop it.
I don't know what you better stop! Bitch, stop!
So the car flips over and somehow the baby is unharmed. I don't know how that is, but it is what it is. They both are sort of relatively unharmed. They get out the car. She looks at her sister, and her sister looks at her, and boom, she steps in front of a moving vehicle, a moving dump truck, okay, and kills herself. So this lady's getting in a house, her and her grumpy ass husband, and she sees that a pregnant woman is lying in the middle of the fucking street. So she's like, I gotta save that fucking woman, and she helps her in. While doing that, she sees something, and goes like, oh my god, mom, or something. And then she steps into a vehicle that is on fire, and the vehicle blows up, and her husband looks in horror. Okay, so they get into the house, and they find a fat dude, right? Grumpy old guy whose wife got fucking killed, suicide, a cop person, MGK, who else? A grandma, Asian guy who owns the house, and Tom. Alright, who else is there? Yeah, that's basically it, really. And everybody's trying to call their loved ones, but obviously everything's gone to shit, okay? Most of the phone lines are down, and everything is no bueno, basically, okay?
It's endgame, man.
No, dude, it's Bird Box. You don't get to live to see that movie, okay? You die. Now, they cut to a shot of the river, 6 hours on the river. She checks the radio, and then they cut back to now. And they're sitting there talking about how they have no food because fucking pregnant bitch is eating all the food because she's pregnant, duh. So someone knocks on the door, and they let her in, but she holds a gun, like Sandra holds a gun, threatening to fucking shoot whoever comes in because obviously everything's dangerous now. And the old grumpy guy's like, put that shit down before you hurt someone because she doesn't know how to use it. Then she does some cool shit with a gun to prove that she knows how to use it. She's a badass, okay? So they let the person in, and the person is another female that is also pregnant. What a coinky dink. Now they're gonna be double trouble from having not food, you know? What? That was not a sentence. Alright, so the owner of the house has a brilliant idea. He's gonna watch the security cameras around his house and see the thing. He thinks that it's just because it's just a picture of the thing, he won't get affected and try and kill himself. But guess what happens? He kills himself. After that, everybody's crying, everybody's scared, and I sit down with my and Sarah sitting there, and the other pregnant bitch comes along, and she's cringy as fuck, and she's trying to be emotional and touchy-feely. Anyway, Sandra's humoring her. They bond, sort of. Cut to a shot of the river. However many hours on the river, I don't care. And she finds some movement. She hears someone and he's talking to her. He's an insane dude. And he tries to force her to see the thing, but she somehow chops his head off. Or not chops it off. Just fucking smashes his head in with a fucking machete, or his arm, or his neck, or something, okay? Anyway, dude, dead. Falls in the water, sinks down. But he really wants her to see whatever the fuck it is. Alright, so later, they decide to have a family meeting because they have officially run out of food. Fat guy who owns a supermarket, that works at a supermarket, is like, I know where we can go to a whatever market. I locked it up before I left, and he doesn't want to go. But 4 people volunteering. He's forced to go because he knows the place and he got the keys, and you know he can close the blinds. Which, by the way, no supermarket on earth has opaque glass. It's always like clear glass. Never have I ever seen a supermarket that has opaque glass. Whatever. They get in the car. They block the windows, and they decide to drive with the GPS. Okay. This never works, okay? You always hit something that stops you. This is gonna take way too long, okay? People have tried it. I've seen videos. It doesn't work like that, okay, in the movie. But anyway, the movie bullshits its way through this one. And while they're on the way, the creature gets on top of the car and scares the shit out of them. And they drive off, and the creature, I guess, falls off the fucking vehicle. And they get to the supermarket somehow. Like, they navigated into the car park, whatever. Who cares? Movie has the movie. And they get in. And they close the blinds, and they search around. A grumpy guy gets drunk. Everybody's shopping. Tom and Sandra bond over baby shit, family, and then they hear some knocking, and it's a crazy dude that the fat guy knows. He works there too, and they open the door a little bit, and the crazy dude is fucking insane. He wants them to see what the thing is, and he's trying to get in. He's so strong. He's pushing the door open. So the ultimate sacrifice has to be made by fat guy. And instead of just kicking him like a normal human being, he runs head on into him and pushes him out with his entire body. Dude, a simple kick would have been enough, but good on you, I guess. Anyway, dude runs through the door, pushes his crazy friend out, and fucking dies. Bitch finds some fucking birds and takes them with her. I don't know how the birds are still alive, but they are, whatever. They go back. Asshole's being an asshole. He gives her a drink, and this dumbass bitch drinks it like it won't affect her baby. Bitch, you pregnant, god damn it. After she drinks her thing, MGK and cop person, apparently they've been, doing it, and apparently been like falling in love or something, and they decide to steal the car and run away. So they do that. Everybody hates them for that. The bitches. Cut to a shot of the river. 24 hours on the river. She hits something in the river, and the kid falls out. She gets the kid in somehow, blind. She gets the kid in. And the kid is freezing to death. She gives him her jacket, and they lost all the food and blankets and shit. So she goes ashore and somehow makes her way to like a small camp or like a building that has shit in it. Okay. And she goes to scavenge and loot. And she specifically tells the kids not to leave the boat. But what do the kids do because of retarded kids? They leave the boat. At least one of them does. At this point, like the monster or one of the monsters is there because apparently there was lots of them. And Sandra knows that something's wrong. So she tries to go back and retrace her steps with this like fishing wire that she laid so she knows how to get back the boat. And the monster is following her, okay? And like black leaves are flying all over the place. At this point, I'm thinking monster looks like this. Some spooky shit happens, and it turns out that it was this center pulling in the girl so she could put her back in the boat and still not to leave, and she's being real hard ass on her. Now, cut back to a shot of now. Tom and Sandra are bonding. He touches her belly. Cut back to a shot of the boat. 28 hours on the river. Now, cut back to a shot of now. The second fat pregnant bitch. The second pregnant bitch lets someone in like a dumbass, okay? And that dude, they don't know it, but that dude has seen the monster, and he is like possessed by the monster, and he's somehow still alive. He tells them a story of how he went to a friend's house to escape whatever's been happening in the city, and then some psychos came and broke in their house and forced them to look at the thing, but he didn't look at it and was able to run away. He knocked on doors and he got into that house. And the fat dumb bitch let him in. Yay. Okay. So Sandra's holding up the gun. She's like about to shoot the guy, like, what the fuck are you here? Who are you? Blah blah blah. And she's like, not gonna shoot him because it's a human. You're not gonna kill him. He looks like he needs help. So grumpy guy takes the gun. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you unless you get out. Grandma comes up behind him and fucking knocks him out. So they put him in the garage. Okay, he sleeps there now. The two pregnant bitches bond. Apparently, Sandra's trying to be nice, and she gives her a cute little toy to give her child when the child is born. No one else is cute. These two child actors that got, I mean, they couldn't have gotten cuter kids, man. Oh my god. Some time passes, and they both decide to give birth at the same damn time. Alright? And they leave the new dude unsupervised alone, and he does some creepy shit, and then he forces people to look. Before that, he puts the birds in the fridge, which is fucking weird. He knew about the birds. See, the birds warn when the creature is near or danger is near. So he forces some people to look, and basically everybody fucking dies, okay? Except for Tom and Sandra Bullock and the two babies. Then you fast forward 5 years later, and they're teaching the kids how to fucking use sonar technology, to fucking echolocate whatever they are trying to locate. So the kids have grown up. They're all 5 years old. And Tom and Sandra, obviously, they both live well enough. Who would have guessed? They have a system of scavenging and like planting fucking food and eating it and getting water from a place, all while blindfolded. And at some point, someone goes on the radio and they hear some radio contact, and it's a guy called Rick telling them that they have a safe place where they can go to. And so, best way to access it is through the river. And they have some conversation about going there, and they're hesitant and they're afraid and blah blah blah. Then they go scavenging for another house. Them and the kids, okay? They're moving, okay? Finding a new house. Real estate agents are not there. They find a new house, they stay in there. They start bonding, eating some fucking biscuits. Strawberry flavored biscuits. And some fucking insane dudes who have seen the monster rolled up on them in fucking cars. And Tom decides to tell them to go, escape out the back. He'll distract them and buy some time. If he doesn't come back within 50 minutes, they should fuck off and take a boat. So this dude, he got military training and shit, okay? So somehow he was able to fucking kill like 3 of the big group of bad people blindfolded with a shotgun, which is fucking dope. So he does that, but he gets shot in the process, and crucially he takes off his blindfolds so he can kill like the last few guys. So he kills some guys with a blindfold off and then follows the last guy. But before he gets to kill him, he sees the thing, okay? His eyes turn. But he somehow controls whatever was happening to him, and he kills the last guy, and then shoots himself in the fucking head. Okay, I don't know how this shit works, this mystical, magical, kill yourself shit, but I don't know. Okay, he was able to control it. 50 minutes pass, she cries. Dope. Okay, not dope, very sad. And she decides to take the kids on the boat ride. And now we have arrived at the river point, okay? So she's telling them not to take their blindfolds off in any situation ever, never. And they are 40-something hours into the boat ride, okay? So they're at this crucial part where they're in the rapids and someone has to look to tell Sandra where to go, to point the boat. As if she's gonna fucking know that she's in the right direction. You're blindfolded, dumbass. Doesn't matter. The boy belongs to her, girl belongs to the fat bitch. So she's trying to decide who of them should look so she can steer, and she's like, fuck it, no one's looking, I love you both too much. So they go to the rapids and it gets bumpy and lumpy and shit. Boat flips over, she gets the boy and finds the girl ashore, and damn, they're cute! They're cute kids, man! And somehow they're all alive, even the fucking boys, okay? So what Rick told them to do is follow the bird noises, and they will be led to their sanctuary, their safe place, okay? So he listens to the birds and he hears the birds, but this monster comes up and he's like using voices of loved ones, like her sister, Tom, and so on. And Sandra trips and falls over and lets go of the kids. Passes out momentarily, and the kids start wandering off like idiots. God damn it. She finds the boy, and it turns out that the monster like plays with your fuse and shit. So the monster starts imitating the voice of Sandra and telling the girl, to take the blindfold off. So the real Sandra Bullock started to apologize to the kid and tell her to come to her, please, and whatever. And then she started apologizing more and crying. And the kid came to her, and it was so fucking touching, man. So they start running towards the birds, right? And the monster's still behind them. He's still running. He's still, we can fucking see the monster finally. They get on the door. She knocks. She bangs. She tells them to take the kids at least. Please, I have kids. They open the door and they check her eyes and the kid's eyes to see if they're possessed and shit. Rick comes, and it turns out Rick is blind, and this is a school for the blind. And who do they meet in there? They meet the doctor that was telling her to put the kids up for adoption. She introduces the kids to them, and she finds out that their names are actually girl and boy, and the doctor looks at her, what the fuck, bitch? So she decides to name them right then and there. 5 years late, but whatever, better late than never. She names the girl Olympia and the boy Tom. She finally lets the birds out. She gets clean clothes. Everything's fine and dandy. 9 out of 10.